Hey, in today's video, I want to share with you how I was able to generate over $12 million in gross profits in my early 20s from one single campaign. Hi, my name is Shakir Hussain. I'm the founder of funnels.com, and you've probably seen people get these awards, and these awards represent $10 million each. And I was on stage getting them in front of around 5,000 people. How I was able to generate $20 million in just 3 years, which works out to be an average of over $500,000 per month, which works out to be over $18,000 per day, every single day for 3 years. It's not because I'm some sort of magic sorcerer or I've got some lotions, potions and pills. It's really because I understood how to create compelling offers, how to have the right funnels to attract the people, and how to get the right customers buying from me. What I want to share with you today is what I believe is one of the biggest secrets of the top online marketers of how they make a lot of money. I first discovered this when I was 21 years old. I was very fortunate. I went to a live event. I was broke, dropped out of university, you know, the whole shebang. Going to this event in London, Earl's Court, and I never forget this experience because there was like all these American dudes that were getting on stage, showing how much money they were making. There were guys that like Mike Filsame and a whole bunch of other guys. I can't even remember the names. And there was one guy that got on and he was showing how he's making up to $100,000 per day. Like insane, okay? He was around 27 years old at the time. I was 21 years old. I had absolutely no money, but I remember going up to him, shaking his hand, and basically finding out that he was a fellow Bangladeshi British guy, okay? So obviously, me being Bangladeshi and British, we connected straight away. I don't think there was another single person that was Bangladeshi and British in that audience. We got talking, and about 12 months later, we started becoming friends. He became a friend and a mentor to me, and you know, at the time he was making millions and millions of dollars on the internet, and for me it was just insane. Like I couldn't even comprehend how these people were making all sorts of money, but I wanted to just make 10 grand a month. I mean, that was like my first and only goal, really. And then my second goal was like 50 grand a month. Then it was like 100 grand a month, and now making $100,000 days is, you know, it has become the norm because I have a $100,000 coaching program. So we have people that will just wire in 100, 120K for my coaching program. So now it's a normality. Back then it was wow. And I remember one day we were sitting in a hotel room. He was sending out a couple of emails to his newsletter. Okay, so he had this huge 400,000 email subscribers on Aweber, and he sent out a couple of emails and then he showed me the stats, and it was $149,000 that he had made, I think, from like sending 2 or 4 emails, and he was promoting some ClickBank offer or whatever it was. And I remember thinking to myself, this is like insane. There's like no paid ads. He's not having to like make tons of videos. I think he just made a video on his iPhone back when iPhone was a thing, just coming out, I think. It was just like really rugged and tugged. It wasn't like perfect, polished or anything, but he was able to make all this money. And I realized it was because he had what's called a joint venture relationship with this other guy. So they would promote each other, and because this guy had a huge list, every time he would send out an email to hundreds of thousands of his people, if he sold a $1,000 program or a $2,000 course, you know, he only needs to make 200 sales to make himself $100,000 in commissions, right? So when you really break it down, it's not really that much. So that planted a seed in my head, which was integration marketing, which was joint venture marketing. And so throughout my 20s, what I would do is I would identify strategic alliances, strategic partners, people that would have a huge list, or they would have a community of people. And I remember the first company I did this with, it was called Carbon Copy Pro. They had built an audience of people, and I came in promoting their products and then offering my services to their customers. And that's how I was able to make my first ever 6 figures. I remember making $120,000. My second year I made $275,000. My third year I made $1.2 million. I was around 23 years old at the time. It was a huge amount of money for me. And then I realized, wow, this is a system, this is a blueprint, this is something that I could do over and over again. I remember calling my dad up and telling him, Dad, you know, I just made $1 million. Like, I'm a millionaire now. I've got $1.2 million all cleared. And I remember him saying, okay, son, like you got lucky, don't tell anyone, right? That's typical Asian dads. And so I was thinking to myself, no, I understood this formula. How can I rinse and repeat this process over and over again? And so I literally doubled down on what I was doing. And the next year I made $2.4 million. The year after that, I made $3.6 million. And then I made $6.5 million, close to $8 million the next year. And before I turned 30 years old, I generated over $30 million selling courses, coaching programs, consulting programs, masterminds, live events. So when it comes to taking your expertise and turning into a marketable product, service, program and selling it online, this is what I've become really good at. And some people would say one of the best in the world. Because now between the funnels that me and my partners have, it literally generates millions and millions of dollars on a monthly basis. So let's just say I know what I'm doing when it comes to building businesses at rocket speed, okay? And one of them was this process called integration marketing, okay? So my first company, I did this. The second company, I was an affiliate. This company had like 250,000 customers. And I remember coming in, they said, hey, can you come and do a presentation for like an hour or so? I went in and I did a presentation for like 4.5 hours. And it was on the topic of solo ads. Solo ads was a way, still is a way of getting traffic through buying email newsletters from other people. And I had done this 4-hour event. And on the back end of that, I had launched an entire traffic agency called soloadsagency.com. I then took that same process and I realized, hey, you know what? This is how I was able to make my first $10 million. What would I do if I had to do this again? Okay, so how did I go from like making $10 million and it took me like 6 years? And then how did I do $20 million in just 3 years, which got me these 2 awards? Then what I did was I made a list of who are my potential partners, who are the people that have my audience. And there was this company back then that was teaching high-ticket affiliate programs, high-ticket digital marketing, course creation, all sorts of stuff. And I partnered up with them. And what I did was I promoted my services, which was a $10,000 program front end and a $40,000 coaching program on the back end. And I sold around 200 units at $40,000. That produced around $8 million. Remember, there was almost zero in ad spend because it was someone else's community. I had to put zero money up front. I literally went in, started adding value, creating valuable free training materials. I would go to their events, I would speak on stage, attract the top end of their clientele. And then we had a downsell, which was around $10,000 to $20,000. And that was for funnels and all sorts. And overall, that campaign produced $20 million with, I think it was around maybe $2 million in ad spend. Overall, I remember that entire process generated over $12 million in gross profits. And for me, it was just like, I saw the potential of this. And it's like every single time I launch a business, I always ask myself, who are the ideal partners and promotional JVs that I need to align myself, right? Like you've probably heard of this term, Dream 100. Who are the Dream 100 partners that have all your customers? And you want to build a relationship with them. You want to go out, meet them at live events. You want to be on top of mind. If they're on Facebook, make sure you're connecting with them. Make sure you're sending them messages. You know, I have a rule which is just 3 people a day. So I know my Dream 100, and each day I'll try, not every single day, but I'll try to message 3 of them every single day. How long does it take to pick up your phone on Instagram, on Facebook, and message 3 people a day? Not even 5 minutes, right? So I do this almost daily, and that's something that has helped me a lot. If this video has been valuable for you, make sure you subscribe. Click the link below to subscribe. If you want to work with me and my team, be sure to go to funnels.com, book in a one-on-one call, and I'll see you in the next video.